Speaking of being better, during the internet blackout, some people they managed sneak in some very major announcements. I don't know whether they share out or did they send them, make them go cut the cables or something. But I think on the second day of the internet blackout, the GFA announced that Otto Addo has been reappointed as Black Stars manager. Me, because of the internet blackout, I see that announcement like 2 days after the announcement. So whatever, I don't know what was going on online for the Airtel Tigo users because they are the ones who saw it. I don't know what the reaction
The
was.
the four guys on
The four Airtel
Tigo that
Tigo
were
users from the
tweeting.
other end. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, they managed to sneak in that announcement when nobody was online, nobody was able to give any feedback, any outrage or whatever opinion people had couldn't be shared. Again, we can start with Kawa. How did we get here?
Uh, the GFA, Black Stars. It is these days. It's a topic I don't like to talk about because I mean, I'm very I'm very tired, to be honest. Like, I'm very tired. Issues around the Black Stars is very the moment you
Draining.
it's draining. Yeah, exactly. The moment you try to speak about it, people decide that, oh, they are not going to talk to you again, or they are going to start fighting you because you are fighting an establishment. But I think that usually it's really just us like wanting the team to do better. Because if you've come in and every coach you've actually brought in has not done anything, then it becomes difficult when the person you just let out of the door, you go back to the person. It's quite strange for me. And I mean,
Chris Houston is next.
Sorry?
I said Chris Houston is next after Otto Addo. Like, we're going back to Chris Houston to it's a cue.
No, as for Chris Houston, I don't think he would ever come back, because especially with this FA in charge, I don't think he would never come back. But Otto Addo, I think that number one, the FA didn't want him to go the first time. That's like the major thing. The FA didn't want Otto Addo to go the first time. And so after he left and then they had to work with Chris Hughton, they were really just bidding their time. What I do not like, though, is that after the sacking of Chris Hughton, if you knew you were going to bring back Otto Addo, you should have just said that after Hughton, we are bringing back Otto Addo. That whole idea of telling us that, oh, we want a coach who has 15 years experience and we want a coach who has done... Exactly. Like, all of that was...
You didn't
like,
even tick one box.
Yeah, exactly. So I keep asking myself, like, what was
Kawawa,
that for? Yeah.
I have a question. I swear there was a committee that were hired to pick this new coach.
Yes.
Which had some bankers and things on
they
it.
Give them specific criteria for the coach.
And then at the end of the day, this same committee brings back the guy that we already know that the FA liked anyway. You understand? So what was all of that for? And that's what sometimes I don't understand. Because why can't you just go forward with what you want to do unless you do a whole fanfare around it before you decide to announce it? But yeah, I mean, if Otto Addo has been brought in to change things drastically, I think that he's the wrong person that they brought in. His first game against Nigeria, I saw it. There were a few good signs because now we are playing, marginally better than we're playing under Chris Hughton. Even after one game, you can spot that there are a few progressive signs. But the thing is, what do Ghanaians want? A lot of Ghanaians have been frustrated about how the Black Stars have played. If you've won one AFCON game in the last 11, and you're bringing in a coach who we need, because the whole thing about Otto Addo is that we need to give him time to perform, right? And if you've won just one AFCON game in the last 11, how are you asking me to be patient with someone who has come in? The AFCON is next year. The World Cup is in 2 years. Is Otto Addo going to qualify us to the World Cup? Is Otto Addo going to take us to the semi-final of the AFCON? These are things that we need to ask. And so if the FA is bringing him in as someone who's going to be um, staying on for like a really long time, say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, regardless of whatever the results are, we are still going to stick with him, then that's fine. But if we are going to do that thing where if he doesn't, if you don't go to the final of AFCON, we are sacking you, or if you don't qualify Ghana to, if that's what we are doing, then the Otto choice makes no sense. You understand? So it depends on what the FA wants. Me, I am, as a fan of the Black Stars, to be very honest with you, I don't think we can win AFCON in the next 4 years. So if we can't win AFCON in the next 4 years, the major thing that could come is the World Cup. Can we go to the World Cup in America? We must be able to, because now it has been expanded to 9 African countries. If we are not able to, then that's also another problem. So Otto Addo's issue is very dicey for me. I mean, if I was Otto Addo, I don't think that I would have accepted to coach the Black Stars at this point. But Charlie, it is him, and he knows what he can do. So fingers crossed. Let's just see how it's going to go for him.
I mean, me till now, I'm still struggling to process that appointment because it's like, first of all, I think we might have a problem with or an addiction to Sankofa because how many managers is it now that we've sacked and brought back? Okay, Milo, the first time I don't think we sacked him, but we brought him back. Kwesi
Yeah.
Appiah has gone and come back too.
Yeah.
We seem to have a problem with moving on.
See, that's another thing about Ghana that sometimes it hurts me, because if you follow trends over the Black Stars over the last few years, and you see that second comings have not particularly gone well for any Black Stars manager. It started in 2003. In 1992, we took a coach to the AFCON, and after Ghana won the AFCON in 1982, we only went to the next one in 84. From 1984, we didn't qualify for AFCON until 1992. And when we qualified for 1992, we just went from qualification straight to the final. And it was because we had a coach who was like really good. We took that coach to the AFCON in 92. We got to the final. After that AFCON final, whatever, a year later, he was sacked, right? Now, after 10 years, after 10 whole years in 2003, when we're looking for another manager, we went and said, Buka Caesar, come back and come and coach Black Stars. He came back, and the Black Stars couldn't qualify for the 2004 AFCON because he was so poor. So the issue about the Black Stars, second comings have not particularly worked. So I'm just looking at Otto Addo and saying that this is a huge task that you've taken up on yourself, because if I've seen the last 3 managers who have made a second coming for the Black Stars not work, how do you think it is going to work for you? And these 3 managers who were coaches of the Black Stars and left were actually quite successful managers for the Black Stars. Buka Caesar took Ghana to the final of the AFCON in 92. We only lost on penalties. Milo van Rijvaart took Ghana to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. He took us to the final of the AFCON in 2010, where we lost. Kwesi Appiah took us to the semi-final of the AFCON. He took us to the World Cup. And Otto Addo got us out of the World Cup in the group stages. And this guy has come back thinking that he can do better than what he did. So I'm actually very baffled about his decision to come back. But like I said, I'm just hoping to see that, whether it works out, because it has to work. If it doesn't work, then it means that all the choices of this football association, this current administration of football association leaders, have made the worst choices of football coaches for the Black Stars in our entire lifetime. That's just what it means. And so Otto Addo just has to get it right for the sake of Keto Kreku.
I mean, even for his own sake, because looking at it, you're a new manager starting out. You've already underwhelmed at the Black Stars once. You're coming again. If you fail twice at the same job, it could be a potential career killer, because I don't see who is going to take a gamble on you again after this. Because even now, for me, one of the things that I look at when you are going to hire a manager, sometimes it's just common sense. You just have to ask yourself, would any of your rivals hire this person? It's as simple as that. Like, would any of
Yep.
your rivals hire this person? If your rivals wouldn't hire this person, then you should know that the choice you're making is purely emotional. Yeah, it's not following any particular logic. So for Otto Addo himself, he has to make sure that he makes it at all costs, because how his career will recover from failing twice at the Black Stars, I just don't know. Because it's not like the other
He
coaches
won't
like
make it.
Kwesi Appiah and the rest who it's not like the other coaches like Kwesi Appiah and the rest who have like some connection to Ghana local football. He be diaspora boy. So it's not like Kwesi Appiah who you can feel you can get Kotoko and those other local clubs to manage. Like, I think it's either Black Stars or nothing
Smiley.
for him. That's
Smiley. The
how I see
alternative was John Pencil and Fatal Dada or whatever.
it. I even forget about all those other ones.
That was the alternative.
You know,
So just
even the
for
assistants.
I thought they were the current coaches of
No, they are Otto
before.
Addo's
No,
assistants.
they are Otto Addo's assistants.
They are alternate.
This be what people
Look,
want copy menu
Me,
can't play inside.
me, I not gonna lie. I was pretty much disappointed in Otto Addo because, and I was pretty much disappointed GFA because this guy said when after his first stint, he said he doesn't see his future in Ghana. He doesn't see he and his family's future in Ghana when he was going back to Dortmund. How do we go back and go and take him back and we act as if everything is normal? Like, up till now, we don't know what went wrong in the last AFCON. We don't know, like, there's been no report so far. Demonstrations were held. These people said they will hold meeting with the journalists, blah, 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 whatever. Committee to investigate. You set up a committee to get a new coach and you ran it back with Otto Addo. What did you do? John Pentel, the guy has coaching license issues. You've gone for him. Fatal Dauda as a keeper's trainer from Olele. Where are you going from here? Like, my internet has been fucking up, but I'm happy it came at this time because I'm really passionate about. Because look, all African games took our attention and we were really focused on a friendly against Nigeria. Do these people know that gradually Ghanaians are getting to a point where that laugh, that they say bring back, no, it's never coming back. Do they know that? I saw a post recently where Mbappe was talking about why players shouldn't be paid.
They shouldn't be paid.
I don't
Yep.
fully agree with that, right? Because different economic reasons, and the player saying this, no, is good for life. This part of the world, some players, that's the highest money they could ever earn. But my problem is,
Then they take build houses.
but my problem is, what we pay them is too much. It should be revised. It's too much. You are paying me and giving me bonuses as well. Why won't you just make the motivation factor bonuses like the way they made it for South Africa? Go and win the tournament, take the money. Why should we do it match by match basis? And qualification bonus, winning bonus. Why? Do you get it? Like, why? Like, we are really wasting money. And that's an avenue for our leaders to steal money. Because the players are taking this, and we have people on the committee justifying taking $100,000 each for doing 2 days work, 3 days work. We don't care about the blacks. Look at the black meteors, right? They were camped. They were worked on. Black princesses, they were camped. They were worked on. Pram Pram is still there. We chop FIFA money from Nyantechi. They've still not done Pram Pram. It's still there. Instead of saying they go fix them, use them as a football college for people. It's still there. Why can't we fix Pram Pram for Black Stars? Why can't we fix Pram Pram for Black Stars to go and sleep there when we have friendly matches here?
Crack.
But they want to go and camp in South Africa when you are going to play in the hot weather in Ivory Coast.
Correct. Do you know something that pains me the most about this thing? Have you seen St. James's? Hey, St. George's?
Hmm.
When England are arriving for
Thank you,
friendly,
bro. Thank
bro,
you.
bro. That infrastructure is sublime, and
And
it's not about that the money doesn't exist here. Oh.
our budget
We
is
get the
bigger than
money to
England.
do something awful.
Our
Even
budget is
the
Bigger
bigger
than
than England.
dude.
even the St. George's crack, cause it be Western world, I don't even want to go far. Look at what Egypt and Morocco have been able to build for themselves using FIFA
Thank
money.
you, thank you.
It's
Is it
it's
just
very
Mauritania.
Mauritania?
Mauritania.
Look,
Mauritania.
let's not even focus on the North African countries, right? Let's come to the east and like let's come down. Let's not even focus on the West African countries. Recently, they went to was it is it one of these countries? I forgot it. Was it Zambia or something like that? Like I forgot it. One of them. They've actually built a place for the players to stay. Like I think I
Isn't that the Mauritania that Kawa is talking
yeah. Aside
about?
Mauritania, there
Because I
was
remember during the AFCON,
yeah, not just Mauritania. Another country that had done that. I forgot it. Another country had done that. Like they went to camp there. Another country went to camp in that African country, and they were praising them like, oh wow, they've actually built a place where you stay. There's a training pitch there, everything there. You're at one place. I think was it Algeria or something went to play friendly there. Algeria, one of the like North African countries, like when you want to go and train in South Africa when South Africa said wasn't training in their own country because they are playing in the hot weather. You wanted to go to South Africa. Like there's like so much wrong with Black Stars that I don't think it's ever gonna work under this administration. I don't know which administration will come next, but the precedent set by all of them, it's not. Me, I've always said that if you've been close to football, like the way most of us have been, you will understand how these people have failed us and why they can still do more and still chop. I am not saying don't chop, but you can do your job and chop. We are here.
Me, I'm saying don't chop.
Oh, it will be hard, Corey. Because let me tell you something. I always say that like everybody's corrupt, every country is corrupt, right? Every country is corrupt. But then again, it's the laws of the land, it's the leaders that put things in place that makes them less corrupt, and we compare ourselves to them. Where there are no laws, where there are no references, the citizens Angasa, they are shit human beings. We talk about Russians, Chinese. Who will be more corrupt than Chinese? If you even you get a chance to deal with Chinese, you understand. Integrity zero, corruption 100. But they are progressing in their country because their leaders are put in place. We are not a chihuahua. That's all I'm saying. Like people say we are a representation of our leaders. No, that is wrong. Oh. No, our leaders are a representation of that is all. We are the representation of our leaders. Because you people are teaching us that you are not serious and this is the way. Why do you want me to hold integrity when you are not even doing that? Why should I hold myself accountable when you are not even holding me as a citizen accountable? I also look for my personal interest. I also look for what's best for me. But then again, the Black Stars they never go be.